Hey, what's up guys? Brian Savage here with you. Today on the bench we have an Alvarez. This is a Alvarez 5082n. And this is a made in Japan. This is still when SLM or St. Louis Music Company still owned Alvarez. I think that it's actually back in their hands now, if I'm not mistaken. Come in for a restring and a general setup. And right off the bat, a little dirty. We have quite a bit of deflection in the body. This body's deflected up quite a bit. I'll show you what I mean by that. Sure y'all can see that. Let's see. Body's pulled up and deflected quite a bit. It's kind of dry. Could really use a some humidifying. The neck, way too much relief. That's first thing. Like I said, we got quite a bit of body deflection, but this bridge is as low as you would dare go with it, so there's no sanding the bridge down. It is an acoustic electric. It is completely passive. There is no battery compartment, so it's a passive. And you can look down in there and I can see my little wire going up underneath the saddle. So it's a Pezio of some sort, which is strange because it doesn't have a preamp in it. You got a volume and a tone control here. And I can't see up in that part of the body. Let me take a flashlight and see if I can see up there in those controls. Looks like one solid little box. Wire runs down to the Pezio and down here to the output jack. And a little ding in the body there. There's a ding on the headstock. This is not in bad shape though. This is an Alvarez made in Japan, and from the serial number, looked it up as close as I can guess. This is a mid to late 80s guitar. So this was made in the 80s in Japan. Build construction wise and the binding and all, it's not too bad. There's some strange things in the binding. You look around there, it gets a little thick. It's weird how they done that. It's like they added in a little sliver of extra binding across there. Make that come out right. Abalone looks like rosette around the pinstripes. All in all, so the first thing we need to do is we need to get this truss rod set. And I know it is way too tall. Way too tall. We're going to check it. We'll just see how far we are off. This is actually tuned down a bit, so I know when I tune it up to pitch it would even draw it even more. Capo the first fret. Now, where you hold it down here, some people do it all the way at the back. I like to do it at whatever fret meets the body joint. If it's a 12 fret guitar, that's where I measure it at. But wherever the body meets the guitar, that's typically where I hold it down at. And then at the 3, 5, 7th fret, I have a 15 thousandth shim right now because this one's going to need a little extra relief, I'm sure. And a little much. Let's go all the way back to here, see how we do. A little much. Yeah, I like to take a little bit of that relief out. Truss rod's back here. It's made in Japan, so I'm guessing it's a metric. I have a 4mm hex key, and that's exactly what it is. Fits in there good and tight. It's snug. I'll give it that. A little more. All this is going to change is I change the gauge of strings. This has 12s on it. Try to 48s, which is kind of extra light. I'm going to go a little heavier gauge of string. That gets it down where we want it. Awesome. Get that out of the way so we can hang it. Alright, so we got to that point. We know the truss rod works. We got the truss rod where we want. String action is kind of atrocious on it because of that hump. Down here has the bridge lifted. At the 12th fret, we are at the 12th fret, 0.095 inches, millimeters, which is just at 2 mil. That's high. I can't change that. Again, it's because of this body hump, this bracing. This is an old guitar, made in the 80s. It's dry, it's been set for a while. The neck is straight, the neck set to the body is good and straight. It does not dive here. There's no dive down here, it's all lift from here. Sometimes the top will dive in and this will lift in and give you that. It's actually from here out, nice and flat. It doesn't bow up until starting about right here. And then it goes all the way out to here. And this whole section here is humped up. Again, from like here to say here. There's tricks you can do to get that to come out. Main thing is get the wood humidified. That's what this needs. Man, it's just dry as a bone. So that'll be something I'll suggest they do is, you know, there's humidifiers you can buy, dampits and things like that, name brand ones that go in the sound hole. People do all kinds of tricks. Me personally, the way this one is, I would probably take the string tension off of it. I would put a clamping caul all the way across the back, and then I would clamp it down right here below the bridge, and with very little pressure on the clamps across here, try to push this down some with it in the shower. Not in the shower, but in the when I take a shower in the morning, take a hot shower and hang it just right outside, that no string tension on it, with that little bit of clamping pressure, and do that day after day after day after day, and slowly try to get this to come down. And a little bit would go a long way to flatten this out. I think if you got this wood nice and damp the way it should be, this thing might swell in to do some surprising things for you. But without further ado, what I'm going to do, again, string change. So we're changing strings on this, and we get the strings changed. We're going to clean it up. We're going to condition the fretboard. I'm going to polish the frets. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the frets. I'm not going to do the fretboard re-crown or any of that kind of stuff. Honestly, if I was going to go that far with this guitar, I'd re-fret it. Some of these frets down in here are really flat. I think by the time that I sanded them all flat and then tried to re-crown it, there wouldn't be much left. Not much wear down here, not too dented down here. It's almost all right in here. Frets are really flattened off. It's almost like someone, I don't know, maybe tried to level it and didn't recrown or something the way it looks. It's not dented. So anyway, we got them loose. I don't feel like fiddling. So alright. Oh, somebody's done the whole lock 'em in thing. On some of them, anyway. Where's Obi at? Figured he'd be going crazy by now. I don't know where he went. My cat, Obi, if you are new to the viewing. He usually likes to help me do these things. Well, actually likes to get in the way. There he is. There's the champ. You heard him. Wee wee wee. Don't do this, guys. It's unnecessary and it just makes string changing that much harder. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing with here, but someone has put it through the hole, wrapped it around the peg head, and then here you go, Obi. You can play with them. Kitty. Come here. Let everyone see you. Say hi. Say hi to all the YouTube viewers. Hi, YouTube. I'm the baby. Alright, so we got that done. Let's pull these out. I have a friend that makes jewelry out of these things. Out of the ball ends, little pieces, makes different pieces of jewelry. Hey, one was stuck down in there a little bit. So, Miss Breyer, these are for you. Save those back. All right. Take a look-see here. Let's clean it up. Alright guys, you don't need to see all this craziness of me cleaning. Cleaning's pretty simple, self-explanatory. Fretboard. I clean with well, it's not set in here, but mean green. Just regular cleaner and a brush, nylon bristle brush. Clean it, dry it off real quick, and then I condition it with oil. What type of oil I use? Linseed oil, lemon oil, fretboard conditioning oil, which is usually some type of lemon oil or linseed oil. What you use. But the only thing I'll say about it is don't use too much. Make sure that it's clean before you oil it, and wipe off the oil after you oil it. Yeah. The body. This body is, oh, it's got some goop on it. I don't know what all some of this stuff is, but if it's a clean body, sometimes a little Windex, a damp cloth, something like that, clean it off. As dirty as this is, I will actually use naphthalene, lighter fluid, which I don't have sitting out here either right now. But that's what I actually am going to use to clean this body. And then I will polish it or condition it. Martin tone polish. The tone polish. But this stuff here isn't too bad. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you. I've had this for a month of Sundays. I rarely use it. I do not use it on a lot of my guitars because I find that it makes it fingerprint easier. And I always wipe mine down every day when I'm done with them. After I'm done using them, I wipe them down, so I usually don't have too bad a buildup. Here's the strings that's going on. We're going to string it, tune it back up to pitch, recheck the neck relief, and send it on its way. So I might do a quick shot of it rather after I get it done. I don't know. Maybe not. It's kind of hot in the garage, so by the time I get it done, I may be done. So anyway, guys, share the music, share the love. If you know anything about these guitars, the 5082n, I found a little bit about them online, not a whole lot, like I said, by doing the research I could from the serial number of this one. I know it's made in Japan, and I believe it to be in the late 80s. They made this guitar all the way up to like 94, 95, 96, somewhere around in there. In the early mid 90s is when they actually discontinued this model. I've seen some of these called the Silver Edition. Real quick, it's a 25.5 inch scale length. It's 4.3 or 1 5/8 millimeter, or 1 5/8 inches. Across the nut width, pretty standard. Neck shape. It is a one-piece neck that looks to be, I would assume, mahogany, possibly maple. Looks like a mahogany back and sides, and that would be a flame maple top. That's my assumptions. Looks like it's got spruce bracing, X brace top, ladder braced bottom. Curved all the way around, top and bottom, Pezio pickup. Passive. So anyway, guys, that's what I know about it. If you know anything else about it, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Please like, subscribe. Again, share the music, share the love. Peace out.